Today I'm going to show you how to set up your student organization officer elections through RamConnect. So the first step is to log in. Go to ramconnect.wcpa.edu and you're going to click login. Log in using your Westchester username and password. It's going to log you in. Then you're going to come up here to the groups tool. You're going to select your organization. I'm going to set this up in leadership, empowerment, and development. And then you're going to click on either surveys and forms, which should be in a purple box right here on your dashboard, or it may be over here on the left-hand gray toolbar, surveys and forms. And then your election, you're going to click on create. Key thing to think about is that these elections should probably be set up by either a graduating officer who is not running for re-election, your advisor, or if your organization has a election committee, just for transparency purposes, so the elections are not viewed or perceived to be skewed in any way. So then you're going to select create, the purple button. You're going to choose election. Choose election because it'll help you on the back end tally your results. I'm going to rename this instead of new election to officer 2020-2021 elections. And then I'm going to select my survey settings. I'm the owner. I've named it an election. My instructions, if I want to tell my members anything specific, you can type it in that box. Open and close. So I don't want to leave my election open forever. I actually want to make it a very specific window. So I'm going to open it today. I'm going to start it at 8 a.m. Actually, we'll open it on the 16th. And then more importantly, I only want to have it open for a couple days so that my members have a timeline and they know that they need to complete it for that opportunity to vote. So I'm going to close it at 12:55 p.m. on Sunday, and then I'm going to hit save. Additionally, next step is to look at access. So I'm not going to require a login specifically. They'll still have to log on to RamConnect, but they won't have to log into this survey. Then I want my answers to be anonymous because I don't want to know who votes for who. I do not want my members to be able to edit anything, so I'm going to disable editing. And then very importantly, I only want everyone to vote one time. So I'm going to select single answer, and then we're going to select save. I do not want a notification every single time someone votes, so I'm going to remove notifications by clicking out of it. And now my settings are set, and I'm going to click save, and now I'm going to close out of settings. So now I'm ready to build my election. So we're going to add question. We're going to select the purple box that has a little voting that says election. Click on it. You'll notice it now has candidate options. So the question becomes that position. So for president, type in who your first candidate is. RamConnect will automatically populate with that person, so you can select them, and then you have the opportunity to write in why that person wants that office. Sean. If you would like them to make a video and put the videos on YouTube or another platform, you can insert the video link here. We're going to go a little bit low tech from that part, but that is an option if you would like it. So then you can select who else is running, why they want to run. Now we're going to make it a mandatory question, which will make everyone vote. We're going to make it a one response, and then we're going to save the changes. And now we're going to add in our next one, next position, making sure to select election again. Notice that it does pop up with their names. So if they have a nickname or they go by a different name, you may want to put that in a description, especially if they don't have their photos attached. That may help new members. That may help, especially if you're a larger organization, know who people are. Completely up to you and your organization. So again, make sure each time you need to select election. Oops, I didn't select election. This is why it's important you select election each time. And save changes. So I have set this up with the 4 positions that are required by SGA: president, vice president, secretary, and treasurer. However, many organizations, and your organization in particular, may have other positions, such as new member educator, parliamentarian, sergeant of arms, etc. You can set those up the exact same way. Just keep clicking add question for each position, and then you have the opportunity to choose to make it mandatory or not mandatory. So once your elections are ready to go, or you've set up all your positions, I like to preview my survey to make sure that it looks the way I want it to look and that the information is correct, people's names are in the right positions, etc. Then I'm going to copy the link. I'm going to open it up in a new window just to make sure, and then I'm going to do a sample vote just to verify that everything is correct and everything's the way I want it to be before I send it out to my members. So I voted. I'm going to log out. I'm going to X out of that other window. So I'm going to log back in just to verify to make sure that it's the way that I want it to look. Go back to my organizations. I set this up in Leadership Development. Go back to surveys and forms. My elections right here. I'm going to click on the back end of it to see what it looks like. So you'll notice I don't know who has voted because it says no name, but my responses are all right here. After you have more than one person who has voted, you can click on stats and it will tell you how the results have turned out and who has won. Key thing to note, because we set this as only one response, even if I go back to the form, my answers are still here, but I no longer have a submit option. So my answers have already been recorded. So even if I want to change my vote, I no longer have that option to submit my answers. They've already been recorded. And even if you click on, it'll be right there. If I need to edit anything, for example, since I'm the owner of it, if something wasn't looking right, I could just click on that edit and go back. But everything looks good and I'm ready to send the link out to all my members. So you can just copy the link, email that out to your members, and give them the timeline on when they need to vote. If you have any questions or problems setting this up for your organization, please reach out to Student Leadership and Involvement. We are here to help you, and this is how you set up elections using RamConnect.